Hey kids, welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 3 as the United Kingdom. Last episode we covered off 1937. This episode we'll be doing 1938. We also organized the Navy last episode, so that's one thing off the list. In this episode, because the war is going to start obviously in late 1939, so in this episode we're going to take a good look at our production queue. And we are going to figure out what we really want to have built before the war starts, because we're also accumulating upgrades that we need to do, and at a certain point we're going to need to switch off of prioritizing production towards upgrades, and I think that's going to probably happen in 1939. So I want to take a look at this queue and think about what we need to have finished, what we really need to have finished before the war starts. So one thing to keep in mind is, this is kind of my reserve navy here. We have this escort carrier, and it would be nice to fill out another one of these ASW squadrons, and I have one. I would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd need at least one more destroyer, so that this destroyer can stay at the top for sure. These guys have got to stay at the top simply because I've got to finish up. I gotta increase my carrier practical for sure. This would be good for that ASW squadron. We don't have CAGs yet for the Ark Royal. I'm gonna put a couple in the queue. I'm not sure if we'll finish them before the war starts. I don't think it's super high priority, but it'd be good to at least have them in the queue now so that we don't forget. Obviously we've got all the illustrious class of carriers down here that we haven't even started yet. I'll be putting those up later. I want to finish off all of these guys so that we have this mobile force that we can deploy around the world. I'll finish that armor brigade, but it's not really very high priority. These are high priority. And I think that's pretty much good. I don't think anything else on this list is super high priority. Probably a good idea to get going on these artillery brigades as well. But yeah, I also for these divisions we're gonna need some. I think I'm gonna put armored cars in them. Let's just take a look. We got one finished over here. Yeah, I'm gonna add an armored car brigade because what I'm thinking of doing is deploying some of them here in the deserts, down here as well. I think we're gonna have 7 divisions of motorized, and we can use them to very quickly outflank any areas where we get attacked down there. So outflank units and sort of overrun the Italians in particular. What else? So yeah, seven brigades of armored car. How long is that going to take? Yeah, they should be done by May. And then I believe one of these is under, I think the 8th Infantry Division. One of these infantry divisions is kind of under strength. It only has 2. I think it's this one of these 2. So I'll put in 1 brigade of motorized. And that'll round that off. That'll be done in June. Okay. Alright. I think that's good. Take a look at diplomacy. We are influencing Hungary. Hungary is creeping towards the Allies. I'm going to get them a little further away and then maybe I'll switch to Yugoslavia if I remember. If I don't, then, well, hopefully Yugoslavia won't join the Axis. What's their neutrality? 72%. Yeah, so they're not really at risk of joining the Axis early in the war anyway. And I think that's it for now. In terms of technology, I'm just going to lock these down. Every time I open the game file again, I need to remember to lock these down. Also going to need to start recruiting officers soon. But looks like we've got everything in the queue that we need, except, well, doctrines. But yeah, we'll try and remember to put some doctrines in the queue. I'm going to go to speed 5 right away. Oh, we have all these garrisons are done. Maybe we can distribute these garrisons around the world now. We've got the Gibraltar commands, Malta command, Hong Kong command, which is actually going to be transformed into another Pacific garrison. So let's just start distributing these around the world and maybe attaching them to the appropriate theater HQs. So you'll probably have surmised that I am focusing on my approach to this British playthrough is really defending the Empire. I'm gonna, you know, spoiler alert, but I'm gonna let France fall. I think I already revealed that in one of the comments. But I'm gonna let France fall, and there's a few reasons for that. One of which is that AI France is really bad at doing much of anything. So it's not. I don't think it's that fun to watch, to be honest, in a Let's Play defending France, because we end up kind of creating a static front, and we would have to spend all of our time in the game just really focusing on that. Short of kind of using a kind of exploit type. You know, we could build a ton of armor and kind of overwhelm the Germans very quickly. But I also kind of wanna do a little bit of a historical playthrough, not necessarily 100% historical, obviously, but yeah, no. Okay, let's leave this guy here. Let's take the other ones and a few other areas. I wanna put garrisons. These garrisons are just going to kind of prevent or dissuade the Italians from some aggressive naval invasions. This is, I don't know, this is a bit of a throwaway here, honestly. We do have some resources. Yeah, we do have metal there, only one metal, but if anything, I might want to use that airbase. I might want to use that airbase in the long run. So if we can defend this, we can defend that, then it's not a bad idea. But you know what? Let's not. Let's send these over, because there's more important things to defend over here, to be honest. I'll build more garrisons later. So yeah. We need more energy. Got to keep an eye on. Last time I checked, the U.S. did not have. Well, yeah, they still don't have much of a energy surplus. So that's kind of unfortunate. That's just up to date now? Okay. Let's maybe put these in the queue right away, because they're going to take a long time. I think that's it for now. Also got to keep an eye on our techs, and we start making some hard choices about which techs we're going to allow to kind of go out of date. We will be able to speed up our research later in the game. What am I? I've got to. Oh no, the Singapore. Where's Singapore command? Oops. Did I like leave him over here or something? I'll just rename it if I did. I'm not gonna. Oh, I literally left him over there. Oh, that sucks. Okay. Well, figure that out after. Not like we have anything better to do for the time being. What's going on here? Okay. I want a garrison here as well. Looks like I might have an extra garrison. Yep. Well, why not then? I guess we'll garrison Cyprus. Wouldn't be a bad idea to garrison here as well, but I don't want to go overboard, to be honest. Like I said, I will build batches of garrisons and kind of sprinkle them around the empire as we progress. Okay, and then let's just take that Singapore garrison. Take it back where it belongs. Sell some more rares. We got to see. We have a huge surplus in rares. I don't know if you remember a couple episodes ago. I had this deficit of rares, but I knew it wasn't gonna be a problem. Do we miss anything? Gibraltar is garrisoned. Malta is garrisoned. Yeah, everything's looking good. Okay. Let's just go around and attach these directly to theater for now. Just to kind of clean this up. I should also think about building the other brigades for my armored corps at some points. I don't think I'm going to be deploying them right away anyway. I'm just looking at this production. Probably leave those where leave everything where it is. I think it's good. That's looking good. Looking good. I'm not building anything for construction practical. Did I build an airbase over here? Yeah, I did. A level 1 airbase. Maybe. What is my construction practical? 4.6. Yeah, be good to get some other things in the queue. Maybe one here. Never know. Might use it. We could build an advanced airbase here, although I'm just not sure because we can operate from Malta and we can operate from Alexandria, and I think if anything that's just going to slow down supplies. What else can we do here? Do we build a we increased Malta's naval base by 1. Do we do another round? 55 units, yeah, no, that's fine. What I'm really waiting for actually is advanced construction engineering. That'll be a more useful way to increase production construction practical. Multi-rolls are open. That's important. What's our... I think, how many interceptors do we have? We have 6. I'm going to put a full wing of multi-rolls in the production queue, but I don't think they're going to be a high priority right now. I think the higher priority is actually getting those carrier air groups out. Are we done all of our... Looks like we're done all of our upgrades. Transports are home. Infrastructure's unlocked. Perfect. So, let's take a look at infrastructure. So first of all, we're using this I'm just going to upgrade this to the max. Infrastructure, I think some people don't realize that infrastructure not only affects like movement speed and how many supplies you can carry, but it also affects repair rate. So even having like full infrastructure here, if we're going to use that airbase, is a good idea because our aircraft will repair faster, ships as well. So yeah, I'm going to start by building up, maxing out the infrastructure in southern England, because most of our units are going to be kind of stationed down here for the time being. I could also consider, another thing is that we have supplies, looks like we're feeding supplies to Iraq, so we could build supplies up to the front here. We could build infrastructure up to the front here, and I think we will. But another good, what's the hotkey? It's F. Yeah, okay. Another good idea would be maybe increase some of this. Take a look at it. Maybe these guys especially. Just 1 level for the time being. Yeah, and that's pretty high already. Wow, there's IC out here. Hilarious. Cool. All right. So that throws some more stuff into our queue for increasing our construction practical. I don't know that those infrastructure improvements are really going to have much of a tactical purpose over the course of the game, but if anything, they're going to increase our practical. They don't take up very much IC. I'm going to max out Malta's infrastructure, which will speed up repair rate for ships in Malta. I think that's a good idea. We should probably do something similar in Singapore. Yeah, started working on that right away, so that we can repair, especially these naval bases where I'm likely to be using a lot of carriers and stuff. It's a good idea. Now, I had put the infrastructure tech in the queue early, so that's partly why it popped out so fast. Okay, we are losing a lot of money. I am going to cancel some expensive deals. I don't think we need to be buying supplies. Our IC is at almost 200. So the Republicans won the war. That's pretty funny. I really wasn't paying attention to that. We could influence Republican Spain and get them into the Allies, but it's kind of risky business because first of all, they won't really help much. They just don't have enough divisions to defend France unless we really invest, like I said, a lot into defending France. They can't really help, and then what happens is the Germans will conquer Republican Spain most likely, and we really run the risk of losing Gibraltar. So we're better off having a neutral Spain as a buffer zone between us and the Axis, I think. Certainly, you know, it could be interesting to do a playthrough where you get Republican Spain into the Allies, and you could perhaps set up a defensive line and hold it here. That would really stretch Germany's supply lines all the way over here, and you know, I'd be interested to see how AI Germany fares with supply lines that really span all of Europe. However, like I said, I'm not doing it. Missing anything important here? No, let's just keep going. Oh yeah, I was in the middle of canceling trade deals. So sorry, Republican Spain, I am not going to buy your supplies anymore. I'm just going to cancel all these. Really want to buy more energy from the United States. I'm not sure who is buying up all their energy, but we need to buy it. Yeah. Really? Someone's got to go broke. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of upgrades. But that's okay. That's pointless. We might need to think about buying energy from the Soviets. Yeah, I think it's, do they have any? Yep. Let's just, oof, we have really bad relations with them. We'll just buy 5 at a time, gradually increase our relations. Yes, selling Spitfires all over the world. That's good. Let's throw in some doctrines. I think I'm actually going to do the air doctrines first, because we're more likely to see air battles before land battles since we're not defending France. I will, though, put all these doctrines in. We need everything. We don't really need anything down here, although I'm tempted to throw in at least large front so I can unlock human wave, which reduces stacking penalties. Unlikely. It's really, I don't even know whether we'll ever get any use out of that tech, to be honest, but might as well. Maybe at the end of this episode I will organize the Air Force. So we've now unlocked, which one? Airborne infantry. Put that in the queue soonish. Hungary stole stuff from us. Delightful. National unity is 80. Counter-espionage. I'm doing fine. I'm not worried about that. Let's take a look here. Oh, they are building Bismarck and Tirpitz. So, yeah. That's, we got to keep an eye on those. We do not have... we didn't build the King George V class of battleships. There's a couple of divisions here. We didn't build the KG5 class battleships, so we definitely want to avoid trading fire with Bismarck and Tirpitz unless we have a carrier present. I think it'll be a little bit something to sort of pay attention to. Looking at this kind of home army here, there are, I believe, 3 divisions that only have 2 brigades. Yeah. So let's do that for now. Put those up top. Yeah, we've got so much IC. I mean, you know, compared to what Britain starts out with. So that's good. Obviously, if we overbuild, we will sort of chew up all of our officer ratio. I want to put these in, and I want to put these in. I'm gonna hold off on light cruiser upgrades for now. I don't think there's anything else important. All of our radar, ship radar techs are up to date. Something has been completed, I think. Does that unlock? Yeah. Self-propelled artillery brigade. And get that before the war starts. Right. I kind of forgot what I was doing here. Do you have? No, you don't. Ark Royal is done. That is going to go into our second carrier squadron, and hopefully we'll finish up the requisite CAGs for that soon. Maybe I will do this and just kind of let this naturally run through. That's good news. I'm glad that we finished a couple of those naval bombers, because if we look at our medium bomber practical, so all these practicals are really high, and pretty soon 39 there's a bunch of techs that we're going to want to be researching, so having the bomber practical high helps us with those techs. More destroyer tech. Should probably move a carrier up the queue. We're at carrier practical 6, so that's good. We'll have to build our landing craft squadron soon. Guess we'll buy some more supplies. We're breaking even suddenly in energy, so that's good. Good news. What about... Okay, these are 1939 techs. Okay, artillery's up to date. Probably going to the negative there a bit. Once we pass another round of laws, we will not have enough resources for our IC. I don't think. We'll have to start being a little bit more careful about what we buy. Destroyers are almost up to date. That's really important. Small warship, anti-submarine. No, I'm not going to lose Unity. Alright, that's the armored cars done for our motorized divisions. So we can start sending those around the world. Where's the 8th? Yeah, the 8th. The 8th is missing a... the 8th is missing a motorized brigade. I'm going to send these to Dover. Where are the rest of them? Probably here. Are there any here? Yes. I think that's it. I haven't done leaders yet. I like to do leaders 1st of January 1939 because that gives us more than enough time for them to be done by the time the war starts. There's that motorized brigade. Let's take a look at diplomacy, so I don't forget. Hungary is now drifting towards the Axis. I don't think we're going to be able to prevent Hungary from joining the Axis, but who knows? Maybe. Maybe. We just got to be really careful. I would really rather not see an Axis Yugoslavia. Take the transport fleet over here. These guys are all ready to go. So, I think we need a couple here, maybe 3. We don't need very much. We don't need very many motorized divisions to beat Italy. Even though they don't have artillery or anything, they're just these very basic motorized divisions. Another cool fun fact, I believe armored car is pretty much the only unit that I know of that has a movement bonus for desert. So that's good. Yeah. It also seems to have an urban movement bonus, so that's kind of cool. So it's just kind of offsetting the movement penalties of the motorized in some of these rougher terrains, and also giving a little bit of armor, a little bit of hardness to the division. What is it? Yeah, certainly defensiveness. Yeah, just a little bit. But honestly, I don't see us running into much armor in the Mediterranean theater or in Africa or anything. So I think later on we'll be adding, when we unlock the fifth brigade, we will be adding self-propelled artillery to those divisions. Okay, destroyers are up to date. Oil refining, I don't really think we actually needed that, to be honest, but we are gonna have tons of oil, that's for sure. Okay, I think that's all we need for another ASW squadron, except for the only thing we're missing for this is the CAG, the carrier air group. So this is our 4th ASW squadron. Be nice to get a 5th going. We have the HMS Vengeance here, which is going to finish soon, and soonish anyway. Yeah, these are. Just want to put those up top so I can kind of monitor them. It's going to be done soon. And so for that, we just finished a fresh round of destroyer tech. We are going to need to put some more, but let's put 4 destroyers in the queue right away. 4 daring class destroyers. For the time being, I'm not going to move them up higher, but let some of this other stuff finish. What's our destroyer practical? 5.4. Yeah, okay. That's decent. I just don't want it below 5. Coal production, that's excellent. Yeah, you can see we're really just raking in the resources now. Probably didn't even need those trades with the Soviet Union. Something finished up. Did a bunch of infrastructure finish up? I don't know. We just freed up a bunch of IC. We haven't built any Marines. I should probably put some in the queue, to be honest. I think Marines are a really good idea to put in the queue. Yep. Let's put 5 Marine divisions. These are going to be proper. You know what? I'm going to put 6, and I think I'm going to actually attach one of them to the core. Yeah. So that the core is actually a functional unit. We also really do need to work on our infantry practical, I think. Nice. A few more doctrines that are important. Let's do this for the CAG organization. I want all these. Seems excessive, I know, but we want the best possible CAGs. Just drop that. This is not a bad tech, but it doesn't make sense because our radar is very centralized. Like I'm building this like level 10 radar here. If I was building radar all along the coast, or along a front, then it would make sense to use the combat modifier that it would give us would be better. Okay, kegs are finishing up. That's good. We're gonna soon have a new model of aircraft carrier ready to go. Alright, that's probably the last round. We might do one more round. What class of carrier is that? The Eagle class. Yeah, you know what? I think I'll wait until we do the 1940 round of carrier classes, and then I'll put in probably another 4. Because we've got 4 already built, 4 that are down in the queue down there. And I would build 4 1940 ones, and they would hopefully be done kind of around the time we start our war with Japan. So yeah, that's my plan in terms of carrier construction. It is July. I want to see if there's anything I want to research ahead of time. I think I'll do this one ahead of time. And not that I'm going to build any enormous number of airborne infantry, but it unlocks this guy. And what else? This would be good. Let's take a look at yeah, let's do those two. I'd rather do those first. Everything's fine here. We could put that one in because it's a difficult tech. What does it do? Max speed, air defense. Yeah, that's good. That's useful. The max speed is going to be useful. Probably have faster planes than the Germans. Let's put this one in too. Especially since we're using motorized. This is good. I'm not going to rush this, because honestly I find the thing about superior firepower is, yeah, it's great having the 5th Brigade, but it really depends, you know, how much IC you have free to actually build those brigades, and I'm not sure that we're going to have that IC. Let's do basing as well. I'm not sure that we're going to have that IC available, to be perfectly honest, around the time that we finish that, so I'm not going to rush it. Infrastructure's finishing up. That's all up to date. Alright, carrier air groups. No, I'm going to wait a second. These ASW squadrons, just for my own sanity's sake, I'm going to move them over here. And I'm going to take this guy. Add them on there. That's good. They'll probably be based here anyway, because this is where they're going to be needed. Probably mostly kind of here. Another... How are we doing on those? We've got a few more to go. Oh, one more. Probably build a 6th one as well. I only put 5. I meant to actually put 6 in that. What's going on here? So what, did Nationalist China just lose? Yeah, they just lost. They always lose. This is a very weird thing about Hearts of Iron 3. From what I understand, I never played, to be perfectly honest, I never played this game before their Finest Hour came out. I started with the full, complete version of it. I started playing this game maybe 4 or 5 years ago or something. Nationalist China always loses their war with Japan. I've never even seen this conflict get even drawn out longer than about, you know, this date. And from what I understand, in earlier versions of Hearts of Iron 3, Japan tended to get bogged down in a huge long war with Nationalist China and was just completely inept at operating in the Pacific. And I think that they nerfed Nationalist China and gave Japan a little bit of boost. But this is not a historical outcome. I mean, the front in China was ongoing throughout the entire conflict, and it was, in fact, I think, the longest continual theater of land combat in the entire war. So yeah, it's a bit weird that Nationalist China is sort of nerfed in this. It's probably the single least historical thing that happens with any regularity. There we go. I have not put any brigades for the Army of India yet, because we're not going to need them quite yet. There's one more down here. I think it's the West Lancashire. Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure where we're going to put those infantry divisions, but we've got. I just want to make sure we have at least 12 divisions. Okay, our first major decision here. Sell some fuel to nationalist China, sure. Treaty of Munich. We're going to do peace in our time. This is fun. You know, it's fun to try this, but we're not set up for it in this game. We are doing a naval heavy empire defending British Empire, so peace in our time is the choice. This is partly why I wasn't doing, I haven't been using spies to raise party loyalty, because we get this big boost here. So yeah. And there we go. Germany grabs the Sudetenland. One level of infrastructure is done. What's that do to our... What does that do to our construction practical? Excellent, yeah. I really, like, again, if I can just try and keep this above 5, it is useful. It does have its use. How are we doing here? I'd like to get these destroyers kind of in the queue and building. SPR is unlocked. Awesome. Let's just take a look here. Yeah, mobile unit practical, that's from all those upgrades. It's not the best practical, but it does help when we start building full divisions of armor. It will help. Armor practical is decent, not terrible. This is bad, but we're building those marines, so that's good. Cruiser practical definitely needs some work. Carrier practical is great. Transport practical is great. Not that it's that important. These are just excellent. So we'll be able to churn out. Maybe once we're done building all these transport planes, we'll churn out another round of strategic bombers. I'm gonna put these in the queue. I'm not sure if we'll get around to them. They're low priority, but strategic bombing is an effective thing to do as the UK. We start with 3 strategic bombers. One of the only countries in the world that actually starts with strat bombers. I think Spain does, believe it or not. Which is, I guess, kind of a historical flavor thing, because there were some, you know, pretty horrific bombing campaigns in the Spanish Civil War. So if you play as Spain, depending on whether you either get the strat bomber or you don't, depending on like when they randomly pick which units go to which country in the Civil War. All right, so both of our carrier squadrons have their aircraft. That's good. That's good. Let's take a look at what's going on with Hungary. Still drifting towards the Axis. It's because Germany's influencing them. And I believe they have like a fascist government, or at least they have lots of fascist popularity. We need more light cruisers. We've got 3. So in that carrier group, these ones each have 3. I want to make sure that I have at least enough to escort. Maybe we'll just build like... Well, I'll just put 2 more in the queue. Honestly, I don't think we have the IC to build more than 2 more anyway. 2 more Southampton classes. We also have not researched the latest tech. So, yeah. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I think we can wait on those multi-rolls. I have plans for those multi-rolls, and we were going to be building lots of multi-rolls. I use them for a very specific purpose. Our Air Force is kind of skimpy, partly because we've been focusing so much on carriers, but we do have enough to defend at least our home territory. Right. Gonna try and get through the end of the year here. Next episode will be 1939, so the war will not be starting. I won't start the war next episode. I will be doing a lot of like order of battle organization and stuff. Where are our transports? I feel like I was in the middle of, yeah. I was in the middle of doing this. I'm gonna send 3 divisions out into the desert. I'm thinking I'm going to probably invade Saudi Arabia, so we'll stick some there, but let's just take a look at the terrain here. Maybe 1 here, 1 there. Or 1 here and 2 there. No, you know what? We'll send 4 over here. Better safe than sorry, I guess. And let's do this. Put... actually select the transports. Send them here. I really should build some mountain infantry or Gurkhas for the mountainous areas here. So I will put those in the queue now. They're not high priority, like Italy's not going to declare war in 1939, so usually in 1940 I think they declare war. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of upgrades to do too, but they should go pretty quickly. Does that make sense? Yeah, let's do it. And then I'll put this guy here. So we started with 2 brigades of Gurkhas. I'm going to build as many as I can here. Build 4 more. And then let's see if we can license some from Nepal. I think some people consider this an exploit, but I think it's cool. Gurkhas are awesome. So I will have 2 full divisions of Gurkhas with the ones that I already have in the queue. I would like to have a full corps of Gurkhas. I think it's awesome to have a full corps of Gurkhas. We're going to play around with them, and that's going to be fun. So that's 2 more divisions. We need 9. Why? Okay, there we go. Yes, Nepal is a puppet, so they will always sell to me. Sweet. I'll leave those at the bottom of the queue for now. I think we will try and finish up that rocket test site, the first round of it anyway. We'll be a little bit behind on rocket techs, but whatever. So yeah, we also have military transports there, so we will be able to have an elite force of Gurkhas. So far we've got a fairly elite force of motorized divisions, and yeah, Gurkhas, motorized divisions, Marines, and then we'll have to start thinking about those armor divisions for sure. What do I want next for tech? I'm gonna do these ahead of time. I want that ahead of time too. Very, very important. Sea attack and sub attack for CAGs. As this tech increases, you're going to shift from using predominantly destroyers to using predominantly aircraft to fight submarines. And by the time we get to like level 1941 level or so, air power will be the best anti-submarine force in general. This one also affects that. You see this adds 0.25 sea attack. Kind of modest, but still worth it. I'm going to look at... I know that air defense is... I believe air defense is basically a broken stat in this game, which is very unfortunate. You'll notice I've put these techs in here. I understand that some of these techs don't really, like this one here, air defense, surface defense, don't really work properly, but I usually research them anyway. I feel like it's more of an exploit to not research them because you know they don't work, and so I guess it's also just kind of flavor. I like to have a fully rounded. Let's do a round of. Actually, I will kind of specialize here. I really just want the bombs. Maybe the airframe. I don't need the fuel tank. Their range is long enough. Strategic bombers have such a wide range that nothing can keep up with them to escort anyway. They're always flying unescorted, so increasing their range and then lowering this, decreases their air defense. I just don't think it's worth it. Could do that too, but I don't think so. Hell, we'll put that in there too. The other thing I need to do for 39 techs is naval doctrine. I'm gonna put these in right away. So we're gonna kind of fill up our techs for I want all these. I want these two. I want spotting. Spotting's probably more important. Yeah, that's a lot of projects, but we should be able to get that all done in 1939. The real bottleneck year for us is going to be 1940, I think. That's when there's gonna be a lot of things we want to research. Interception tactics. Oh, you know what? I also want assault weapons and bridging equipment. Jungle attack. Like, these are pretty modest bonuses, like especially assault weapons, but I think we're going to be using engineers in the jungle. That's one of the cool things about the UK. One of the things I love the most about the UK is just you get to fight in every type of terrain. You know, like you're not going to be, speaking of which, you're not going to be fighting in the jungle as Germany most of the time, unless you unless you really conquer the world, which, you know. But in the medium term, you will not end up fighting in the jungle. That's all of our artillery, I believe. It's all. Interesting. Did I just not put enough in the queue? Probably. That sounds like me, not putting enough in the queue. Let me take a look here. Did we put any? Did I like deploy any in the Army of India? Because I actually don't particularly want the Indian divisions. Oh, I see what I did. Okay. Almost to the end here. Honestly, I know I can just use these divisions interchangeably, but I don't know. I'm going to use the English, the British divisions in certain areas, and the other divisions elsewhere. I'm confused. Where did they go? Oh, here we are. The East African Division. Where'd the other one go? Did I leave it here? No. Okay, whatever. No, it's definitely here. I can see the artillery brigade. It is December 23rd. Medium tank is up to date. That's good news. These are probably very out of date tanks, but we're not going to be using them for a bit. Mass assault. Nice. Just all these techs just popping off. Alright, that is going to be for our next ASW squadron. How many of these did I put in the queue? We have 2 light cruisers. Oh, it's so annoying. It uses the same names. I'm going to rename those. We're gonna need 4 of these for our big carrier. I think that's enough. Yeah, 2. Yep. Okay. Good. Let's count units in Hearts of Iron 3. What? Oh, here it is. Okay. There we go. Yeah, so I think that our core infantry divisions are going to get an engineer brigade. Oh, it's 5th of January. So these infantry divisions that I've given artillery, I'll round that out with probably an engineer brigade just to give them a terrain advantage, kind of river crossings and stuff like that. On the other hand, I'm going to do the reverse with the Army of India. I'm going to give them their engineer brigade first, and then I'll give them their artillery later. I think that's going to be the plan. Same with these East African ones. I think that's the plan there. And these guys all round out with like a tank destroyer, motorized division, SP art, and then eventually they'll get an armored car as well. Anyway, that's it for this episode. We accomplished the mission of finishing 1938. Next episode, I will be going until the war starts. I'll cut the episode when the war does start. So just to give you a sense, if you you know, if you want to skip to the war, you're going to be skipping to, I had 2 episodes here, but I'll label them all. I'll put it in the episode title so that you know what each episode contains. And yeah, we also, I guess we'll do the Air Force. We'll organize the Air Force next episode because I forgot to do that. But yeah, next episode we're really going to be sorting out this order of battle and making sure that all the divisions are attached to the right HQ and doing leaders and all that, as well as just advancing the clock until the war starts. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.